Jeffery Mowrey, the President and Supervisor of Hope Mountain Behavioral Health, is a true champion of mental health reform. His unwavering commitment to providing accessible mental health services to the underserved population is inspiring. Under Jeffery's visionary leadership, Hope Mountain is a beacon of compassion and service-oriented care, filling the critical gaps in mental health support where it's needed most. Their dedication to reforming mental health services creates a profound impact, offering hope and healing to countless lives. Jeff's dream, fueled by his educational background and passion, is to ensure future generations receive the mental health support they need for joyful and fulfilling lives. His journey exemplifies the transformative power of compassion and advocacy. TALtalks welcomes Jeffery Mowrey to share his invaluable insights and shed light on the vital importance of their work.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and I appreciate your daughter. What she's doing is great, and this is why I'm up here for mental health care workers. So I'm going to do something a little different, because I bore myself. My wife says I'm pretty boring, so I want to try, and I am pretty boring actually. So I want to split the room up. Half of you, I want you, is that okay? And I want you to say, "We can," when I point at you, and the other half will split from you, young lady, to that, you're this half, and everyone else say, "Do better." Can we do that? Let's try it. We can?
We can.
Do better.
Do better.
Okay, so we're talking about mental health here. It started for me in 2006. You guys don't know, so I'll tell you a little backstory. I struggled severely with social phobia, with agoraphobia, and couldn't look people in the eyes like I'm looking at you right now. And the first thing I did is I went to a psychologist, and I said, "Hey, I can't get a job. I can't even look at people. I can't keep friends. What's going on?" He looked at me. He gave this book to me. It said something about stand tall as a man. And then he said, "But you're good looking, Jeff. How in the world do you have problems with people?" And I took my wallet out like this. I took his check out, $150. I looked at his money's coming out too. I looked at his PhD and I said, "Is that what you learned at PhD school?" And I threw it. Sorry, I'm pretty active. And I walked out of the room. I said, "One of these days I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this thing right." I left him. I'm in PhD school now, so I'm trying to hope that doesn't turn out that way. And then the second thing happened. Let's see. It was actually when I was 26. I was on the streets. I had been homeless for a couple of years at this time, and I went to try to get therapy. And they told me, "You have a therapist." I tried really hard. I know I got mental health problems. I know if somebody I can just talk to them. I can tell them what I'm going through. If I could tell them and they could listen, maybe this human contact would do something for me. "Sure, we got psychotherapy for you." So I went and I sat down 5 minutes. I didn't bring a bus ticket. The lady handed me a bus ticket. And I said, "Thanks a lot, I appreciate that." And I said, "When am I supposed to get therapy?" She said, "That was it, young man." So I left and I went back to John 3:16. It was a home place for the homeless. Again, I was living on the streets. And they kicked you out at 5:30 in the morning. I'm not a morning person. So you can see a guy like me, I went and slept on the concrete. I forgot to say we can do better. I'm going to say it in a second. I went and slept on the concrete with this black bag here. Put my head on it. And this is what I did. Hopefully, where's the camera? There's it right here. Next time, I want to make sure it's recorded. So I laid down, and I thought about that day before. Man, if I can't get help, how any of us homeless people going to get out of this? And I laid there again because I'm pretty lazy in the morning. And I said, "You know what?" And I looked around, and I said, "I'm going to be the one to do it. You, one day I'm coming back. And this time I'm going to be the PhD guy. This time I'm going to give you real help. I'm not going to give you just a bus ticket. I'm bringing help to you." Guess what? I'm fast forwarding. Oh, let's do it. We can?
We can.
Do better.
Do better.
Fast forward, just to let you know a little bit about what we're doing. You can go through the slides. I didn't really make my speech about the slides. I wanted to speak from my heart like the lady said. We have given thousands and thousands of dollars away free therapy, probably hundreds of sessions or more, I don't know, of free therapy to people that need professional therapy that would normally cost $200, $250. And we'll continue to do it. I have an admin team that's killing it. They're getting grant after grant after grant. I can't give this therapy away to you all. In fact, I'm trying. Take it. because it's there. It's not just for the people on the streets, it's for anybody. Anybody struggling with any kind of anything mental health-wise, relationship issues, it's there for you. So, yeah, and to get to that place, I kind of fast forward, but I want to tell you about 2 events that happened for me that changed my life. This bucket, there's another part to this. So, when it all changed, I was homeless and I was on my way to end my life. And I had enough. I said, no more of this. I can't be homeless anymore. It's too difficult. So I went on this bus and I was going towards my last destination where I would end my life. The bus broke down, thankfully. And across the street, me and another houseless, homeless gentleman, we were looking and it said Tulsa Day Center, or it actually said Tulsa Center for Behavioral Health. It was for people that were suicidal and homicide. And we both looked at each other and said, we're at least one of those. So, so we went across, and I sat there for 8 hours. I was pretty mute. And I talk a lot, but I was mute. I didn't say anything. I just stared at them. And they said, are you suicidal? I said, I think so. And they kept me. And when I got in there, I was 127 pounds. I was crusty, I was nasty, my hair was all raggedy. I think because I didn't talk and they didn't know what else to do, they didn't send me into a shower or anything. They took me into janitorial closet, made me strip down. I stand there like this, they put bars of soap on me, I'm doing it myself. They're like, do it. And they spray me down with a water hose. And then that changed. Another thing I said, we've got to do better. So we can
do better.
That's right. There it is. But after that, so I'm trying to use my notes, so I'm just going. There were 2 events. After this event, I thought I'm going to die if I get out of this place. I cannot take homelessness anymore. Anyone that's been homeless knows what I'm talking about. And something kept happening. The first thing that happened, this guy named Jimmy, I call him Jimmy Donut Man, he came into my room one morning bringing donuts. Always brought me donuts. He said, Jeff, guess what? You can live another month and a half, man. I said, really, Jimmy? Why? He said, because we have a dual diagnosis program for you, and you can stay here for another month and a half. And I said, oh, God, I can live another month and a half. Month and a half came, same thing. I can't go back out there. You know, I've been stabbed, I've been shot, I've done all kinds of those things. I've slept in rivers with spiders under my own grandmother's apartment building. And all these things. I'm missing most of my teeth because of all the trauma I've been through, and I can't hear because of the trauma. I can't go back out there. And then someone came in, I think it might have been Jimmy and a girl this time. Hey, guess what? We found a program up in Webb City, Missouri for you. It's called Housing. What's that? Oh, it's for homeless vets. I'm not a vet. I'm about feeling like a stray dog. Well, you go. So I went, 156 men, 1 van. I lived in the basement with people that just got out of prison, wonderful people. You had to get a job, and they forced you to go to AA, which thankfully saved my life. But you have to remember, on the streets, this skin color doesn't hold up too well. I had a lot of experience with people that weren't my skin color that hurt me just because of my skin color. So when I was going to AA, there was this black gentleman who ended up saving my life. But he would look at me, and I thought, man, this man wants to hurt me, or he's attracted me, what's going on? My mind was all twisted from being on the streets. You guys can probably see what I'm talking about, just really twisted. But then I had to walk 2 hours to get to my job because, again, there's 1 van, 156 people. I worked at General Mills. It's 2 degrees outside in Webb City, Missouri. I'm walking like this, and this guy pulls up next to me. He says, "Get in the car, boy." I go, that's exactly how he talked too. I go, "Hey, no way I'm getting in with you." And I had a t-shirt on. I did something wrong with him. And I kept walking. 2 hours more. Did that for a while. 4th time he did that. He said, "Boy, get in his car, you crazy white boy." And I said, "Yeah, you're probably right." But I got in the car. 2 hours I had. So he took me back to his house, introduced me to his little kid that's this tall now. And he introduced me to his wife, doesn't know me from Adam. And I'm in this white t-shirt. And he says, "Matt, pick a coat out of my closet." And so I went to pick one, and there was this old jersey. It wasn't really warm. It was just kind of the way I felt about myself. I felt tattered and worn, like I didn't matter. Like I wasn't worth anything, so I pulled that sucker out. And he put it back. He goes, no, man, you weren't more than that. Took his coat off his back. Put it on me. Put it on me. Changed me forever. I left that house. No longer racist. I left that house. No longer feeling like I was worth nothing. I left that house with hope. And I'll tell you, that's what we're trying to do now to the people we serve. I will tell you too, it's going to take all of us. It's going to take a load of us to do this. It's going to take us taking our coats off to help the people that we see out in the streets. Just our, your daughter's kid, her patients, your brother, your sister. It's going to take us taking our own coat off, the own warmth that we have, and being willing to put it on somebody else. Just so that we may be cold for a minute, but that somebody else can have a future like we're going to have. Because when I'm sitting at home, I'm so happy. I have a house, I can pay the mortgage, I have a beautiful wife, I have some crazy but good kids. I love them. And I get to sit here in front of you all and look at you and try to make sure you don't fall asleep. That is a huge privilege. I used to be out here, get sped on, all these things. And now here I am. And I'm here because I believe I have a message for you all. And the message is simple. The answer is not difficult. It's difficult. It's simple and difficult at the same time. But it's hard to do. We have to be willing to be cold for a minute. So, and then there's one other event I want to mention that drives me and that I feel like I'm indebted to this person. I had open heart surgery at 37, 10 years ago. I died like 10 times after I got off the streets. And they didn't know how I made it on the streets. It was an absolute miracle. But this man gave me free open heart surgery. And it was because I was working with the homeless. So what I'm doing right now is also fulfilling that. I'm paying my debts to that man and the man that gave me the coat. So yeah, we have a lot of grants. I want to tell you a quick story. Actually, I threw it off. Yeah, so what we're doing now ties to all that, and we're able to just push these things forward. And we'd love for you to get involved with Hope Mountain. We've done a homeless outreach. Again, like I said, we have a lot of these grants. If you know therapists that want to be a part of it, please send them our way. We have so many stories of people getting better. I can tell you millions, but I can tell you right now, as we speak, somebody is getting the help that our company, our nonprofit, is aiming to do. And I have a wonderful staff, wonderful team. And going forward, that's what I want to say is that please support us. And I'm glad to be here. I don't have anything